everyone. I hope you're feeling well and that everything in Google Classroom is going well for all of you. I thought you were all probably pretty sick of reading your assignments for everything, so I'm making this video to explain the assignment you'll be doing for the next 2 weeks, and so that I can talk a little more directly to you. All of this info will be posted in an attached document too, and in multiple languages. So if you'd like to read the information instead, you can do that too. We are going to be making illustrated recipes. This is a fun project because there's a lot of freedom in the ways that you can make your images. You should have viewed the slideshow of artist examples before viewing this, so if you haven't looked at the slideshow, you should do that before going further. So you can see all of the different ways that artists have made their recipes. Your first job is to actually gather your recipes. I'd like you to try asking for recipes from your family if you can. Connect with someone to get a favorite family recipe, and if that's not possible, you can find your recipes online. The 3 recipes I chose are actually from some of my friends, since they're like family and I cook with them a lot. They can be in any language or culture, so if you want to write the recipe in your home language, please do so. You'll need 3 recipes. You can choose breakfast, lunch, and dinner, appetizer, main course, dessert. You could even just do yours, your sister's, and your father's favorite recipes. Totally up to you. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking that 3 is a lot, but please don't worry. Your recipes will be small. And from looking at the examples that you saw in the slideshow, you can probably tell that your illustrations can be as complex or as simple as you would like. This little recipe here, which my sister actually made, is a good example of the size that you're going to be making your recipes in. So they're quite small. Your recipes will be the first thing that you submit in Google Classroom, just so I can see what all of you are making. Once you've chosen your recipes, you can jump into making thumbnails for them. Let's take a look at some of the artist examples that you saw on the slideshow, and I'll show you some of the ways that you can draw out your recipe. These illustrations are all about flow. Our eyes move across the page in specific ways and can be guided by the way that you place things in the page. In artistic terms, this is called composition. Let's take a look at the first image that I have here. This recipe is made in a zigzag pattern. You can see where I've traced it in blue. This is a great way to make your recipe flow because our eyes already naturally move across the page in this way. It's the direction that we read in. If this recipe was in a language other than English that reads in the opposite way, she might have actually composed her image to go in a zigzag going the opposite direction. This is a really easy way to make sure that your recipe is readable. This one is arranged a little bit differently. There is one large central object, in this case the finished banh mi sandwich, and everything is arranged around it. The large central image is balanced by all of these smaller images around the outside. This recipe is arranged in a similar way, but the large image is the pot at the bottom, and it's balanced by all these smaller items that are at the top. When I say balance, what I mean by that is actually visual balance. Our eyes stay longer looking at bigger objects on a page, so they seem to have more weight. If that was the only thing in the whole page, your eyes wouldn't be able to look away. It would become distracting because it's so large. But if you add lots of little things somewhere else, like these at the top, your eyes don't get stuck down here, and you're able to look at all of the pieces that are in the image. Now these are just a few of the ways that you could arrange your composition. It will depend too on if you want to include lots of instructions, only a few instructions, none at all, which is up to you. Since we are all working from home, the materials you use are going to be limited by what you have available. You can make a great looking recipe with just a pencil and lined paper if that's all you have. We are going to be combining the thumbnail and mock-up steps by including a test of the materials that you have with your thumbnail images so that you can get right into your sketches. This will also help me because I'll be able to see what you have available and want to use and give you advice on how best you could use that material. I'm also going to be doing this assignment with you, and you'll see that I've already posted my recipes, thumbnail images, and mock-up tests. Lastly, I'd like to say that I know that going online for your learning is going to be stressful for some of you and definitely weird for all of us. This is new territory. Not all of us have a lot of art supplies to work with at home. Some people might not have a desk to work with or might be sharing their desk with multiple people. And I want to make sure that you know that I'm aware of those struggles that you might be having. If you're struggling with these assignments in any way, for any reason, please reach out. I'll be monitoring email and Google Classroom during school hours on weekdays. So at any point, if you feel like you have a question, you need clarification on something, you need me to explain something in a different way, please reach out. I'm totally willing to do any of those things for you. And I'm willing to help you figure out how we're going to make these assignments work for you while you're at home. Best of luck, and I can't wait to see the recipes that you've chosen. Bye! Piper! Say hello! Say hi!